going on, YouTube? Big up. This is the monk here. Just doing a quick live. I'm trying to cover up as quick as I can so I can get back hard training, but maybe I'm struggling, people. Hope you're all doing well. It's literally just talking to chat, but let's get closer to you lot. And down, hope you're all having a fine day, peeps. Thank you very much for the like. Legend, get me going. So basically today I'm just gonna go through one of Bruce's books. It's one of my favorite books. If you do study any martial arts, I suggest you look this book up because it is life-changing advice. So Bruce actually wrote this book when he hurt his back. I think he had a slip disc. I think I can remember. But this is one of the books, and it's kind of lucky that he did have an injury because he wouldn't have ever had the time to basically write the books and write down what his teachings was. But yeah, if you're a martial artist, then I definitely suggest you invest in one of these books by Bruce Lee, and yeah, it's really good. But if you're in there, any questions, feel free, drop a question, and I'll answer it. But yeah, no problems, people. But yeah, at the moment I've basically done my back in, so I will do some training on it, but it's literally just movement training. I'm going to do some footwork training just to get us going. Give me a second, people. Look, pull it out. I'm running off the other one. I'm live Has any of you lot been doing your training today, peeps? Yeah, so basically a lot of the stuff in there, so Bruce actually done all these drawings. As you can see here, these are actually Bruce Lee's drawings, and he's a pretty good artist as well, you know, not just a martial artist, but he was a very wise human, you know. For the amount of time he spent on Earth, he definitely learnt a lot. And I think that's one of the things, it's about evolving as people, you know. And especially as a martial artist, you must keep evolving. And one of the sayings is never have your cup full, because if your cup is full, you're never gonna learn anymore, you know. So I'd rather be considered a fool who's willing to learn, and a wise man who thinks they know it all, you know. And that's one of the sayings I go by, because you know, you've got to keep on learning, keep evolving, keep learning off other people. Because a lot of the people, what they're teaching is from their mistakes, you know. And you learn a lot. You learn more from your mistakes. So, yeah, you definitely got to keep it going. But this book, if you're not invested in it, I 100% suggest you do it. But, all right, let's get going. All right. Trying to find some bits. All right. It's quite hard to see, actually. Here we go. All right. So the successful martial artist, will be the one who is able to possess fluid speed, tenseness tightens, and slows reaction times. Yeah, and poses confidence but ready at all times. So basically the main thing is to be ready at all times to be able to strike. Yeah, that's one of the most important things, to have your body positioning right so you can always throw. You can always counter what's coming at you, and you can basically throw the punch. So another thing here, he's saying puzzle the opponents, never do the same thing twice. You've got to mix it up. So that means from the legs, go legs to the body to the head. Yeah, if you're setting up a punch for the head, yeah, you want to work that body. You want to do low kicks. You want to get their mind thinking about blocking something low, and then you switch it up high, because the best fighters, if you look, it's not a complicated mess. It's a very simple thing that they're doing. Look at, so you hit up high, it makes a gap down low, and it's all about setting up and controlling the distance. You must control that distance as a fighter, because the best fighter, he can hit you, but you can't hit them. Every time you go and hit them, they're always out of range, so it's really important stuff in there. You must make your strikes and everything natural, so natural reactions. Yeah, so we will train over and over. So in a fight, when someone goes to do something, you react. Your brain don't have to think, oh look, this person is going to throw a punch. You've already thrown a punch as soon as they moved, And it's about staying relaxed. You must stay relaxed. That's the hardest thing as a fighter, to stay relaxed, I find. And that comes with time and practice. Yeah, because like Bruce always said, it's not the man who practiced 10,000 different kicks. It's a man who practiced one kick 10,000 times. They're the people you got to watch. And I did see on the internet some one girl, she actually practiced just a side kick, and she entered a competition. Yeah, she ended up winning the competition. She practiced this side kick so many times when everyone was practicing all these fancy kicks. Yeah, and even in especially a real street fight, I suggest you don't kick. You don't go for the head. If the opportunity's there, then you take it. But sorry people, I'm gonna do the best. It's got a timer on that light. I am outside. But yeah, you do the best you can to I can't even remember what I said. That's all right. All right, we're gonna keep moving anyway. So back in the day here, you can actually see how much Bruce Lee actually charged for a session. So he's actually got one of his things here. So it's basically saying professional consultation and instruction. He was charging, I'm not too sure what year this was, but it's quite a long time ago. I have to look that up. But he was charging $275 per hour. So if you wanted to get trained by Bruce Lee, he was charging you $275 per hour. He was doing a 10-session course at $1,000. Yeah, so if you wanted to train with Bruce Lee back then, he would have charged you $1,000 for 10 sessions. Yeah, instruction overseas, you're looking at $1,000 a week plus expenses. Yeah, so he wanted basically his expenses covered, his flights covered, his meals covered, everything covered, and $1,000 on top. Yeah, and that's for 1 week training with Bruce Lee. So yeah, interesting stuff. This book honestly is so filled with information. If you are a training fighter, training martial artist, I suggest you get this book. Yeah, because what Bruce done was he took a lot of the complicated messes and slimmed it down. Yeah, and everything has its use. in martial arts, everything has its use and purpose, but it's knowing the right times when to do it. If you use a wrong technique at the wrong time, it can be totally deadly. Yeah, because in a street fight, going for the headshot, you're very vulnerable. You know, you could get a takedown on you, you could get anything like that. And it's different in the street because everyone's got to remember JKD is made for it is made for street fight. Yeah, so it is made for street fight. I don't know if that's better, people. It's a bit brutal, that light. That light is absolutely brutal. But yeah, so let's have a look, see if I can find any more bits of wisdom in there. Right. So this is Bruce Lee's this is words of Bruce Lee himself from his book. So on martial arts and success, this is what Bruce Lee has to say about this, yeah? So in the beginning, I had no intentions whatsoever that I was practicing, and what I'm still practicing now would lead to this. But martial arts has a very, very deep meaning as far as my life is concerned, because as an actor, as a martial artist, as a human being, all these I have learned from martial arts. Yeah, so a true martial artist, yeah, he lives by martial arts. He lives by the code, the respect of martial arts. Yeah, so there's a lot more to it, you know. You got to follow your passions, whether it's martial arts, whether it's art, whether it's anything, yeah? You got to find your passion, and once you find your passion, you must go hard on mastering it, yeah? Because it's only in self-mastery that I believe that you find the peace that we're looking for, you know? Because as humans, the body is made to move. We are put here to move, yeah? And that's why if you sit around for too much, your body stiffens up, you get problems and stuff like that, yeah? So he would yeah, so basically it says here, use karate, judo, aikido, or any style to build your counter-offensive. Yeah, so what he's saying is, don't disregard any martial arts style. Yeah, we take it all, we learn it, and we got to put our own stamp on it. Yeah. So the one thing I loved about JKD when I first ever started it was is my comments on, because is my comments working, people? I bet you it's off. If it is working, I've got 7 in it. Can you just drop a comment, please? Because I think it's off, to be honest. This is kind of games they play, you know. But yeah, so basically here, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, he would work on his legs. Yeah, so 3 times a week he'd work on his legs. Every Thursday, Saturday, he would work on his punches. Yeah, on Wednesdays and Sundays he would do sparring. Yeah, so he had a very very good schedule for his training. He broke it up. He give time for his certain body parts to basically recover before he went at it again, you know. You know what they say, the best way to learn how to swim is to actually get in the water, yeah, and swim. The best way to learn Jeet can do is to spar. Only in free sparring can a practitioner begin to learn broken rhythm and the exact timing and correct judgment of distance. Yeah, so that is real important. So I found when I was boxing, everything was done from a rhythm. Yeah, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So when I was fighting, what you would do is you start working out their rhythm. Yeah, so as you're moving around, you start working out their rhythm, and your key as a fighter is to disrupt the rhythm. Yeah, so you want to disrupt the rhythm of your opponent. Yeah, so what you do is, you know he's coming in 1 2 1 2. Yeah, Well, he keeps doing it over and over. This is why Bruce said, do not keep repeating the same move. You'll get worked out. Yeah, you get worked out and they will expose you and take you down, you know? So you can't keep doing the same thing. And the same with feints. Too many feints is bad. Yeah, because if you keep over feinting, yeah, you should never really feint more than twice. Yeah, you will get worked out. So I'm gonna keep going. Right. Right, so in sparring, there is no answer. The truth has no future. It must be understood from moment to moment. So when you go into a fight, yeah, you should not have in your mind already, I'm going to do this and this and this. Yeah, you should go in with a blank canvas. When you go into fight, yeah, you should go in with a blank canvas and deal with what comes at you. Yeah, so that's what you got to work out. A lot of JKD is counter-offensive. Yeah, because one of the reasons is when someone attacks, they're not thinking about their defense. Yeah, so therefore that's an opportunity. But he also goes off the car crash effect. Yeah, so the car crash effect is where, all right, so you've got the car crash effect is this. Yeah, it's coming towards you and you're coming towards it like a car crash. Yeah, you know, 50 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour, that's 100 mile an hour once it hits. Yeah, together. We work off the same. So when someone attacks to me, yeah, I'm countering him, but he's coming onto my punch at the same time, or whatever attack you're doing, whether it's a kick or anything. It makes it a hell of a lot more powerful. Yeah, and you can literally stop the opponents. You know, if you look at UFC, most of the knockouts is when they're coming onto it. So that's why one of the great things with the JKD is a counter-offensive. But some of the greatest fighters out there was counter-offensive. Yeah, because you can go attack, you can attack, and it's good to attack. But I believe in the system that JKD come up with, you know. But if you see the opportunity and it's clear to go, you go, you know. But you end the fight. This is what JKD, the difference was with JKD, it's a street fight martial arts. So what it is, it's all about ending the fight as fast as you can, people. Yeah? So that is a main objective with JKD, to end the fight. So we go for vital points. Yeah? Kneecaps, eyes, throat. Yeah? We go for vital points to end the fight. Yeah? Whereas if it's a boxing match and stuff like that, yeah, a lot of the time they're going in, you either going in with a mindset to win on points or to the knockout, you know. But mainly amateur boxing, it's all a sport. You can't go in and punch them in the throat and end the fight, you know. You probably get in a lot of trouble for it, you know. But yeah, it's just a few points I'm going through. My phone is literally about to die already, man. It is mental. I've literally just come out here, yeah? My phone's getting worse and worse. I don't know why. When I live stream, it literally kills the phone off. I don't know if anyone else has that. Yeah? Alright, so economy in motion. In kicking and striking, especially when launched. From a ready position, eliminate unnecessary motions and muscle contractions which slow and fatigue you without accomplishing any useful purpose. So what he's saying is, you got to not telegraph. Yeah, that's one of the main things. If you look on my shorts, yeah, I've just done a video on it. You should not telegraph the punches. That's where people go wrong. If you telegraph your punches and you cock your punches back before throwing it, yeah, because a trained fighter, all it takes is a twitch. They know what's coming, you know, and that's the difference. You ain't gonna land on a trained fighter. Yeah. All right. So much energy is wasted by unrelaxed opposing muscles in resisting movements. This is why it's key to stay relaxed, people. You must stay very relaxed when you're fighting. Yeah. Learn and feel proper contraction and recovery. Otherwise, the psychological engine is racing, but the brakes are on. Yeah. So this is where you must empty your mind, he is saying. The mind must be empty. You must not be thinking about the movement. You should have trained that movement thousands of times. So it just happens, and it flows and everything's relaxed. And everyone knows when you're relaxed, you throw with double the amount of power. I'm just letting everyone know, if you're new in here, if you subscribe, I subscribe back. I'm trying to unite the world, trying to connect everyone up, all right? Right. The highest state is no form. I think the highest state of martial art in application must be no absolute form, and no tackle pattern A with pattern B by the absolute correct. I feel that martial arts should not be limited in a circle that will produce students a wrong idea, thinking that certain patterns will achieve the same result in fighting as in practice. Fighting and practice is very different. Yeah, it's totally different scenarios, and that's why one of the things you must not think this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Yeah. So on what is the best martial art? Yeah. So he's asking, what is the best martial art? And as Bruce was, his cup was never full. There's no such thing as an effective segment of totality. By what I mean, that I personally do not believe in the word style. Why? Because unless there are human beings with 3 arms and 4 legs, unless we have another group of beings on Earth that are structurally different from us, there can be no different style of fighting. Yeah. So everyone who shoots down the JKD, just to let you know, you can look up Dana White, yeah, as stated clearly that Bruce Lee was one of the main people for MMA. Yeah. At a time when the Kung Fu man hated the Karate man hated the boxer, yeah. He put all that aside and he went and learned off everyone, yeah? And then he put it all together and blended it into his own system. And this is a thing with JKD. We all must do the same, yeah? Because what works for another man might not necessarily work for you. So you've got to come up with your own, what works for you. And that's what's beautiful about JKD. Don't discriminate against nothing, All right, so where was I? All right. Now the unfortunate thing is that there's boxing, which uses hands, and judo, which uses throws. I'm not putting them down, mind you, but because of styles, people are separated. They are not united together because styles become law. Yeah, and he broke down that law and separation, Bruce Lee. Yeah, he's one of the first people to actually, take all the hate from everyone. So the original founder of the style started out with hypothesis, but now it has become the gospel truth, and people who go into that become a product of it. It doesn't matter how you are, who you are, how you are structured, how you are built, or how you are made. It doesn't seem to matter. You just go in there and become that product. And that to me is not right. Yeah. This is why he's saying you got to put your own stamp on it, And the main thing is with JKD is keep it simple. Keep it simple, keep it effective. Yeah. Right, so Bruce Lee was he wanted to unite the world. Yeah, and this is in his words right now. So nationalities didn't mean anything. He did not turn away someone because of their color, because of where they come from. Yeah, everyone knows that you know, divide and conquer is happening right this second, you know. So many people will come to to an instructor, but most of them say, hey man, like, what's the truth? You know, would you hand it over to me? So therefore one guy would say, now I'll give you the Japanese way of doing it. Another guy would say, I'll give you the Chinese way of doing it. But to me, that's all baloney, because unless there are men with 3 hands and there are men with 4 legs, then there cannot be a different way of doing things. But since we only have 2 hands and 2 legs, nationalities don't mean anything to me. You know, he did not discriminate. Bruce Lee was uniting the world, and I believe at a time like this, when the world is getting divided and conquered, we must do the same, people. Right. Like I said, I'm just doing a quick one, people, but I'm going to have to go. My phone's literally about to die. I'm about to lose this whole live stream. But thank you very much. If you can hit a like and subscribe and check the channel out, let's unite this world. You know, if everyone started subscribing to each other, we would grow our channels tenfold, people. You know, if you subscribe to me, I subscribe back, and do the same. Let's bust it. Let's get all our channels growing. We're all creators here, you know. But thank you very much for tuning in. The monk is out, all right? Peace out, everyone. God bless. Goodbye.